I'm going to show you today how to colour a portrait that you've drawn from your imagination and using all of the previous worksheets on how to draw the eyes, how to draw a nose and how to draw the lips. If you look clearly, you will see that I've gridded out all of those elements onto my portrait. This is just a cartoon illustration. It's not from any photograph that I'm copying, so it's so much easier because you're not aiming for this to look like anybody. It's from your imagination. And I'm also going to show you how to colour this in using colour pencils, but we'll come back to that in a moment. So firstly, I'm going to colour the eyes first. Okay, so I'm just going to gently go around the edges to get rid of any lines that I no longer need. And I'm only going to concentrate on half of the face, guys, because it takes so long otherwise, and I don't want you getting bored watching the video. Right, my cartoon illustration is going to have brown eyes. So I've already mapped out where the lightest areas are going to be. Remember, if you look back on the stages of drawing the eye, we start with drawing the pupil, yeah, we colour that in, but you've also got the light reflecting off the eye as well. I've got 3 shades of brown here, and I've also got a black pencil for the pupil. So I'm going to go straight in with the lightest. We will start lightest first, remember. We don't go dark first because there's no way that you can rectify that afterwards. Okay, so very lightly with my pencil I'm going around the edge, the iris of the eye, and I'm guiding the colour towards the centre of the eye, not pressing too hard, and avoiding those 2 boxes there where the light is going to hit the eye. Same on the other side. I'm only going to do the eyeball on this side. I'm not going to do the shading as well for the face. It just gives you a guide of how to use colour pencils to shade your portrait. I'm then going to come in with a slightly darker tone of brown. Again, same thing, from the outer part inwards. And obviously the darkest area of your eyeball is going to be the top. And we all know why that is, don't we? Because of the eyelashes shading our beautiful eyes. At this point, you know, you don't have to copy me. You can have whatever colour eye choice you want. I just thought I would do brown for a change. Okay, so the top part again is going to be quite dark. I'm now going to come in to do the pupil, colour in the pupil of the eye, being careful to avoid those 2 light spots that I've got hitting the eye. If you don't include those, I really don't think that your eye stands out at all. Just give it a try, give it a practice on a page in your sketchbook. If you don't include the light reflecting off of them, it doesn't look so realistic, and it doesn't make the eye pow either. Just give it a go. Right, I'm not going to talk all the way through this. Okay, you can just see what I'm achieving as I go along. So the darkest areas, yeah, are on the outside of the eye, and then I'm going to put a couple of little flecks coming out from the inner part of the eye outwards. Same with this one. On there. And I really do want this part to stand out a lot more. So you just add some more colour around that area to emphasise the light hitting the eye. And the more pressure you put on your pencils, the darker the tone will be. It's the same with if you're using a lead pencil. Okay, let's put some more black on here. I'm pressing quite hard there to achieve that. Also, this is not a big picture that I'm drawing. This is only A5 size, so half of A4. Right, I'm now going to start to draw in the top part of the eye. So my illustration is going to have sort of like black eyeliner over the eye like that. And does she have false eyelashes? No, I don't wear false eyelashes. I don't know how anybody can wear them. I find them so uncomfortable. But there we go, each to their own. Right. And along, I'm not going to go too mad with the dark pencil. I'm going to come back and do the eyelashes afterwards. Now I'm going to show you to do the flesh colour of the skin. So I have a flesh colour here, but if you don't have a flesh colour, you can always use an orange, but just don't press too hard with it and you'll still achieve the same tonal ranges. For now, I'm going to show you, now here's my nose. Remember, we get rid of the lines and the circle at the bottom, because what happens with when you're using pencil, colour pencil on here, what usually happens, see I'm not rubbing out fully, I can still very subtly see the lines there. If you leave a too dark a mark there, it will blend in with your colour pencil and it doesn't look very nice. So let's start by shading in our noses. Remember, look back on the worksheets as to how we shade in around the nose area to create the shape of the nose. It's not too prominent lines here and here and here. Yeah, you're guiding the shape of your nose by the shading. Okay, so now we're coming to the tip of the nose, around the sides, the nostrils. Do you see what I mean? That, you see, it goes darker immediately if you leave too much pencil on your page. Okay, as I say, I'm not going to go too mad on the right hand side of my face because I just want to do this as a guide for you. I think colour pencils, I've said this numerous times, colour pencils are underrated. They're such a fantastic medium to use. They're so versatile, and you can, I've actually done some portraits, commissioned portraits, using colour pencils, and I do prefer them to using acrylics or watercolours. They give so much detail, especially on the eye areas. But anyway, so I'm going all over the face with my flesh tone, all around the areas. Okay, even around the eye here and on the forehead. Remember as well, what do we say? You need to work out where your light source is going to hit your face. For me, I'm going to have it facing or slightly this way, I think. So if it's slightly this way, hitting here, my darkest areas are going to be all around here and this side here as well. So this side is going to be my lightest area, and on the side, the right hand side of the nose. If you don't work out where the light source is coming from, you're going to have complications with working out where the darkest areas and the lightest areas of your tonal range is going to be. So you need to work that out as well. Okay. Now you understand why I'm only doing half of the face, because you can see the time that it's taking for me to do this. I'm going to quickly just rub out the lines that I created, the mapping, the guides, to draw my lips in, because that's going to have an effect on the tone as well. Putty rubbers, you know guys, are great things to use because you can manipulate them. I need to get one. I haven't got one with me, the same as I haven't got a ruler at the moment. I'll just keep disappearing. It's like a pen. As soon as you put a pen down, you want to use one, it's never there, it's never available. Okay, let's quickly go around the chin area here. So remember, my lightest area is going to be coming from this side here. I'm going to have that, and then it's going to be slightly darker on the left hand side. This is my ear. I haven't done anything here on here yet because there's going to be hair that I'm drawing in for that part. Okay, part of the neck as well. You can see how quickly I'm trying to include the flesh colour over the areas that it needs it. Because what I want to show you, really, this is why I'm rushing it, is the amount of blending you can do with using colour pencils. Right, okay. I think I'm just about done with add a little bit more in there, and on here. Okay, right, now I'm going to darken that up slightly using, this is like a burnt sienna colour. Okay, so I'm just going to go over the top where, not pressing hard, where the darker areas will be with regards to tonal shading. So when I say tonal shading, that's my light to medium to dark. So at the moment I'm just including the medium tone. All around the side of the face here, because that's where the darkest area is going to be. And you can see how lovely the pencil blends in with the colour that's underneath it. And on a finger, it almost goes like a wax. It kind of glides over the top. I have a box that I purchased from, where did I get it from? WH Smith. It was about £10, and there's 36 colours in there. pretty sure you could get it cheaper online if you did a bit of research, and also we all know the shops are closed at the moment. So yeah, online is the place to go. Okay, so just including some shading in here as well on the finger, and the neck area of course is going to be very, very dark. Okay, I'm just pressing harder in there, and then around the bottom of the finger as well. Blend that in, chin area here, around the side of the face again. Right, now I'm going to concentrate on creating the shape of the nose. So we've got our darker tone at the bottom, then we come to the nostrils, around the side, and you can see how subtle it is. It's not harsh. I'm just pressing very lightly with my pencil, and you will get a tone on there. You don't need to press hard. You just want it nice and subtle shading introduced. Okay, we're getting there, we're getting there. I'm actually going to add a little bit of orange as well, just because I want to really. You don't have to, I just think it kind of looks, I quite like the orange. And you can see immediately how that tone changes. I'm going to darken these nostrils up as well. You can experiment with the colours, yeah, you don't have to. Obviously I've used, you know, the peach, the flesh tone, but you could use purple, pinks. Just start to experiment. Have fun with the colour pencils that you have in your house. You know, you don't, just experiment with them. Okay, just add a little bit on there, on the side. Right, let's grab our dark brown to start to add some shading into the nostril there, because that is our darkest areas, and at the bottom here as well. A little bit of tonal range up there. Okay, there. Right. Let's darken that area there a bit more, and around the chin. And then I'm going to just include some more flesh colour on the side. Right, let us move on to these gorgeous plump lips that I've drawn. Now, I'm just going to have them, let's just do red, just for the sake of it. Okay, so Remember again, you need to work out, have a little think about where the light is going to hit your lips. The plumpest areas are always round about here, aren't they? If you have a look at your own lips in a mirror, and also there's elements here. So try to not put too much dark shades. Don't try not to include too many dark shades on those areas. You want to keep them as light as possible. So say so as soon as you go in with a dark shade, it's really hard to lift that. So, you know, just work really slowly, and you're changing the tones as you continue to colour. Again, look back at the worksheet that is on the YouTube channel there on how to draw your lips, and the shading, you know, just follow the shading that's on there. If you're having difficulties working out how to include the shading, the light areas on your lips that you're going to draw. Now I've drawn my lips really nice and full. You can design your lips any which way you want. It doesn't matter. So I'm just pressing, so again, as usual, I know I sound like I'm repeating myself all over again, but you start with the lightest tone, the lightest amount of pressure on your pencil, and now I'm starting to press a lot harder with my pencil now to create those darker tones that I require. So it's very subtle, coming up, because we all have those textures, the lines on our lips. I'm going to leave that part a little bit lighter than the rest. And sometimes as well, if you come away from your drawing, because if you stare at them for so long, you begin to, you know, well, sort of wonder whereabouts the darker areas to the lighter areas are formed. You can't necessarily see it, is what I'm saying. So it's always good to move away from it and then come back. You can see how it takes time. Never ever rush. I'm rushing a little bit because I'm aware that this is a video that I'm recording, so you know. This looks like she's got red lipstick on. Okay, right, at this point I am now going to start to draw in. I'd like her to have some eyeshadow, so I'm going to include kind of a rustic red eyeshadow. I know it's not a choice of everybody's, is it? I just thought for the sake of this cartoon illustration, I would introduce some eyeshadow. And darker in here. I'm going to have a little bit underneath as well. Not too much. There we are. And I'm going to then start to draw in the eyebrows. I always tend to draw mine as, you know, little flicks, very much like I do with my eyelashes, rather than a kind of straight across. Or you can map out the guides of your eyelashes. Eyelashes? Eyebrows? It's because I'm in my head, I'm saying that I need to do my eyelashes next. I'm concentrating on that. Sorry guys. I got that a bit wrong. Right. Okay, and I'll come back and introduce some darker areas into that. Those eyebrows, not eyelashes. And as I say, because you're not copying, this doesn't need to resemble anybody. You're not fixated on the fact that, oh my goodness, it doesn't look like the person that I'm drawing. It's just for fun. I just want you to get used to using colour pencils as a medium. They're very, very great. Okay, eyelashes. Remember, we flick up, flick, flick, flick. Hardest amount of pressure is at the base. Okay. I'm not going to do any more than that because I don't want her to look like she's got those false eyelashes on. Tiny little flicks down here. I'm not going to go too mad with that either. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit of pink into the eye here, just because it adds a lovely little bit of shading. Right, that is like the flesh colour of our face completed, although I've just noticed that I want to come in with a bit more shading on this side here. And then I'm going to get my flesh colour pencil again and just blend that in some more. Now I'm going to draw in the hair. Yes, she's going to have brown hair. Oh, sorry guys, the sun is shining onto the pad, but well, she's going to have brown hair, I've decided, and it's just going to trail around. Straight hair. It's going to do lines like this, trailing off as well to the sides. Okay, I'm just going to continue with this. This is going to get a little bit dull for you to watch. So, you know, if you want to fast forward, please do. I'm just going to keep drawing the lines, and then I'm just going to add some different tones of browns in there as well to create the lighter areas to darker areas. This is just sort of guesswork, guys. I'm not, as I say, I'm not following anything. It's just in my head. You know, oh yeah, I'll have that strand flowing down here. There's no formation to it. I'm just going with, yeah, I'll have that going, flowing here, there. Maybe I'll add some hair flowing over her face as well in a moment, because we always have the annoying piece of hair that lands in our eyes or something, and it's always at the most inappropriate times when you're talking to somebody. Okay, so now I'm just going to randomly add. Right. Okay. Let's come in with a darker tone now. So I'm going to have dark tone here, and then bigger areas. Drawing in the hair is quite time consuming, I have to say. Perhaps I should have drawn a guy, and then I could have just done him with short hair. And I wouldn't have had to have worried about the long eyelashes and makeup and... Wow, how silly am I? I could have simplified it, couldn't I? Never mind, never mind, never mind, never mind. Never mind. Right, okay. Now, so, yeah, just practice, 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 guys, on these. And as I say, pencils, I just adore them. They are bellissima, which means beautiful in Italian. Those of you that are Italian out there. Right. Okay. Right, okay, so at this point, I think what I'm going to say to you is I will upload the finished version for you, and then you will see as well, I'm going to add the odd strands coming down across her face and here as well. Okay, so you get the general idea. I'm just going to keep going over the strands of the hair in waves with different colour browns. I've got two tonal browns in there, a light and a dark. I may even include an element of a sort of golden colour for maybe a few highlights as well. Alright, but I'm going to say, guys, that is, I apologise for the sun. Yes, there we go. That is my cartoon version of all of the worksheets that we have gone over, the lips, the eyes and the mouths. Now I've said that, lips, eyes and noses. Hey, I've just noticed I didn't do any nail varnish. We can't have that, ladies, can we? let's include some nail varnish on here. Remember, the light source is coming from the side. Wow, how did I forget that? Anyway. There we go. She now has nail varnish. The finished version will be shown to you along with the YouTube clip. Have fun.